fully the Jace, but you're right, it is a flex to some degree. He will run the cannon anyway. Heavily expected to be Jace into cannon. Interesting stuff in the top side between these two. Going to be very squishy there, but Longzhu have the super tank in the mid lane. So wherever Cuz goes, the gap.
Aggressive plays when he was known as a little bit of a sponge there in the mid lane, especially when he was on the Rocks Tigers.
It's cool that he can change gears more than perhaps he was allowed latitude on the Rocks Tigers to do, where he was largely on that wave clear duty. All in the top side, Cuz is here, but the minion wave may ruin things.
Yeah, looking for that body slam, just gets it point blank. Maren flashing, but maybe a little bit too late as there's first blood. And Khan once again is going to be the benefactor.
Yeah, it was a pretty trivial start, but Afreeca Freaks may be kicking them about the double drawings. It might have been a gold value thing. If you could afford a Glacial Shroud, Control Ward, and a Potion, I think that would have been where you would go. Cuz does get the casual steal.
Yes, wanders all the way through. Gets cocooned. Spirit understands that he doesn't have very many places to go. Is now BDD full health. Kramer's going to turn up. Tucson's going to be here as well. It's a 4 versus 4 on the bottom side, and immediately the Catfish is melted. Kramer now off on his own. Longzhu were looking for it. A lot of damage goes back. Good cocoon. But Kuro may have been baited forward. Winds of War do a lot. And now Prey gets the slow. The second auto is enough to take down the mid laner. And 3-0 now for Longzhu.
So crucial that they popped Tucson on hit build, trying to take down turrets. Double AD, Lucian and Kuro and Kramer, and Lucian and Caitlyn to take turrets in other lanes, but wait for mid lane.
There's the flash body slam. Taunt comes down as well. Kuro's got nowhere to go. Decent damage onto Cuz, but he's still going to lose his life, and that's understandable. More of that split pushing 1v1 duelist build. We've seen it so often. BDD gets himself right in amongst the action. And Cuz looking to make his way over again. Flash was up. Kuro has to be so careful. Good body slam. He is going to be able to flash, but is it going to be enough to get himself out of the way? Explosive cast, Winds of War not going to find it as Kuro will have the blast cone. Oh god, that was close. Beautiful prediction from BDD. It's now Kuro, yeah, this is behind enemy lines.
Wants to try and execute, it's not going to happen.
Oh, that was close.
I don't think it would have died to the first turret shot, so Gragas Blade of the Ruin King active second. He's going to steal more movement speed. Because it's not really a Blade of the Ruin King game for Longzhu. You look down the lineup and you're like, I guess Tucson will build a bit of health, but no one else will be.
Yeah, like maybe. Now Maren going to be attacked here by Cuz. Spirit just looking to try and get rid of the Jace as there's the heroic entrance. That is a dead little cannon. Good god. This game is getting pretty gross, Pop Smithy.
When you want to help, hadn't used Cask, so the worst respect flash in that scenario. Doesn't mean Cuz can continue walking up, and he doesn't really have too many cares.
No, even gets out of the way of the Voltar Spiderling.
This turn on to Tucson, he got interrupted during the Abyssal Voyage.
Oh, almost managed to juke the arrow, and now they're looking for everything. BDD lets the taunt go off, then just as punches. Cuz drops a barrel on the head of Kramer. That says good night, and the good news stories for Longzhu never. And Khan is actually looking to take down the Rift Herald as well. Oh, jukes out of the way by even getting the buff as there's the heroic entrance. BDD says there is nowhere that Khan can be that I cannot help him. And they are able to these Drakes.
It's very hard to convince gamers that things like the Drake spawn rate are independent events, because definitely it feels like you got all your good Drakes and then lose out is, well, the perfect game on the line.
Yep, they want to be able to get something, but there's heroic entrance. BDD says, get punched, Spirit. He's going to jump up into the air and then inevitably die. They're looking for Tucson, and he's going to die as well, and it's just all too easy for Longzhu. They have the answer for everything.
Has teleport just in case they spot a flanker. There is a ward here, but it's going to be cancelled, as Kuro has the culling to try to delay things.
Yeah, teleport's going to come in. Now going to spot him, I believe, as there's the Empowered Shock Blast to go over the side. Spirit, he's still in base, though. Oh my god, Khan flashes on Kramer. That's a couple of autos that are going to secure it. And there's the Baron falling down. Cuz once again. That was adorable. Okay, that's how you get rid of him. The longest explosive
blind optimism into just complete faceplant.
Oh god.
Mine was probably meet the Spartans. That was my bad.
Oh god, what? No, come on. I know you as an intelligent man.
I wasn't always intelligent. I was younger at one point, Atlas.
I remember when that movie came out. You weren't that young. Oh god.
All right, the perfect game's still on the line. You can have a couple more moments to think before the end of this broadcast of what your movie is. Spirit's going to find Khan. There's a lot of people here.
Okay. Can he get out of the way of this one? Nope, they just want to deny the perfect game, and they are going to do so. Spirit locks down the kill. That is going to put a 1. You heard it here first.
What was that accent?
I don't know. You know me, when it gets to that stage where there's not very much commentary.
Khan, that's not the brush to look in.
Oh dear. 2 enemies, 1 brush.
I think I saw that movie.
Yeah, not a great one.
Well,
Okay.
turning on to Baron is an option. The dive we mentioned are an option. The teleport is up from Khan. They will start the Baron. Spirit's in the area though, and Gorilla alone can only do so much goaltending.
Yeah. He's at least going to spot Spirit moving his way in, and he is in position, so this should be a 50-50. Arrow's going to land. That's a lot of knockups onto Kuro. As BDD finds the snare, Khan grabs the kill. The Baron was just forsaken as they were just opting in for that 1 pick.
The Righteous Glory, I believe, coming through from BDD for the initiation build even after the use of the ultimate, allowing Tucson to back, not having vision of the enemy Krugs is actually giving Afreeca more recall options. Smite does come through from Kuz. We'll have another charge in 15 seconds. They can still turn on to Baron.
Okay, gets themselves over there. Mara, no teleport.
Spirit thinks because Smite was used, he has a bit of time. He does not.
He's wandering over as quickly as he possibly can. They get no vision really, but
nice cast.
Control ward does go over. BDD gets the Justice Punch. Stops this one from going down as Kuz secures the Baron. Gorilla eventually falls, but the trade, I'd say, is probably in favor of Longzhu Gaming, as it's a 3-for-1 in the end, and a Baron buff to top it all off.
Took a long time to actually get an advantage. There's the Ash Arrow. Prey doesn't miss many of those.
Yep, and he's going to be able to find this one as well. The last auto attack is there, makes it a 1v1. Yeah,
so that's not really gaining anything, but in the meantime, it was all a grand distraction as Khan took the bot lane inhibitor.
Yep.
Turret at least.
Actually doing a lot of damage here just inherently. The freaks underneath these turrets. The volleys from Prey need to be respected. Well, jumps his way in. That's the flash and just kills Marin straight up. Arrow flies through, but is going to get the goal. Separated by the Afreeca Freaks members. Justice Punch comes down. That's the taunt onto multiple members. Strangle Thorns from Gorilla is going to secure positioning around this Nexus. Nexus turrets are falling, and Longzhu predictably take this series once again to a game number 3. Afreeca versus Longzhu has been a joy to cast so far, and I'm glad that we get all 3 because both of these games have been one-sided. I hope game 3 is going to be a little bit closer, and we're going to get some further information as to the difference between